Stick to the Plan podcast. Michigan's elite political podcast is about to begin, live from the birthplace of the Republican Party. Let's gather under the oaks like our forefathers did. Now more than ever, it's time to stick to the plan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Stick to the Plan podcast. Yeah, it's another Monday, as we always say, and this Monday didn't come by as quickly. Last week was a little bit hectic, we'll say. Hectic's a good word. Hi, I'm Kevin, and I'm here solo today. That's right, completely solo. We may have my special guest co-host coming in just a little bit, and when he gets here, I'll invite him in. But Russ is up in Lansing for the Charlie Kirk Vigil. He's fresh off his Tennessee Mountain Man vacation or whatever he was on, and so he let me take the reins, and I'm at the helm, and I'm going to deliver the best I can. Russ is usually the head host here, but I think I can handle it. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Let me check those streams real fast. See, this is normally the stuff I do while Russ is doing his monologue intro. Where I don't know how to do this. Anyways, guys, last week was a crazy week. I mean, the obvious that we all expected, but I think it hits everybody a little bit different and a little bit hard sometimes. And that of course, is 9/11. Sorry about that. But that, of course, is 9/11. And, that fateful day where we lost so many great Americans over a terrorist attack. And then, of course, this year a little overshadowed by another great tragedy, the assassination of a great man, a great father, a great son, a great husband, Mr. Charlie Kirk. He's going to be one that's going to be missed. And every streamer out there, every streamer on the internet, including myself on my other shows, have covered the Charlie Kirk story exhaustively. And I'm not here to do that today. We all know. If you don't know what happened, then I want to know what rock you live under, because that's a good rock. We all know what happened. We all know that the killer was caught eventually, and the rest of the story is to be told. We'll see what happens with that. And so that's not what I'm gonna do today. This show hasn't covered Charlie at all because we haven't been here. We only do every Monday show. So what I would like to do is take a moment. Everybody watching, everybody listening, everyone watching on the replay even, and just take a moment. We'll call it a moment of silence. And it can be just that. Whether you pray, whether you think, or whether you do nothing at all. Just a quick moment of silence. Not only for Charlie Kirk, but also for all the lives that were lost on September 11th, 2001. So let's go ahead and take that now and just time to reflect. And I thank you for that. Like I said, Rest in peace, Charlie. Or rest in peace. I don't even know the number. Over 2,000. The people we lost on September 11th, 2001. Never forget, kind of thing, you know. But guys, like I said, I'm not here to make it sad or drag the mood down into nothing, because that's not my style. And that's not normally how this show goes anyway. We try to keep it upbeat, even in what can be a very dark world of politics. So what I decided to do is we're going to play a positive video. Instead of playing the video of the shooting, which was gruesome, if you haven't seen it, I recommend everyone sees it. I really do. But viewer discretion. I'm not going to play that. Don't worry. I'm not playing that today. No. Or on YouTube. That they would not like that very much at all. But I'm not going to also not going to play the video that I was going to play about the shooter and his background and what we know about him so far. Because once again, that's all been covered exhaustively to the point of nauseum, at least in my book. Let me pull this back up. Yeah. So we're not going to do that either. What we are going to do is I have a video of Charlie Kirk's best debate moments. I don't know if it was just from last year or from all time, but Charlie was the best debater. I mean, he just wanted to talk about things. And he didn't care what side of the aisle you were on, what your beliefs were. He was very, very proud of his beliefs. He was very unwavering in his beliefs. But he could also back them up in fact or in theory or whatever. His conviction was genuine. And that's why he was such a great debater. I jokingly have said multiple times on this show and many other shows, I would have loved to debate Charlie Kirk. You know, I'm like, I'm not a college kid. Come at me. Obviously, he would bury me. The only thing is, I don't know what we would debate. We're kind of on the same page with 99.9% of everything. So, obviously, that never happened. But, maybe one day. Maybe one day. But, yeah. It's, like I said, a great loss. A great loss for both sides. Honestly, it's a great loss for humankind. He really was a fantastic, I didn't know the guy, from what I've heard and from every source I've heard. Great father, great son, great friend, great advocate, and great husband, all the above. And it's really, really sad that he's leaving behind his wife, his beautiful wife, and two young children, a son and a daughter. But hopefully it sparks something, and hopefully it sparks change, because this political violence does have to end. But once again, not going to be that guy. Not going to make it a sad stream. We're going to watch Charlie, really, for lack of a better term, owning some libtards, because that's what he was really good at. And there was no doubt that he was the best. Again, he just wanted to talk. He just wanted to talk it out. Just talk it out. The last thing I'm going to say, because I wanted to bring this up, but have not. And I don't get to really go through things like this on my other streams. They're not political based, and so we don't. But I got in an argument on the internet, of course, with one of those people we keep hearing about, the naysayers of Charlie Kirk, almost celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And these people, you have to just remind them, hey, regardless of what his views were, it was a father, he was a patriot, a husband, a son, all of what I've said before. But what I did, just out of spur of the moment, something I just thought of while I'm debating them, I reminded them, I'm like, this incident, although I wasn't alive for this incident I refer to, But Charlie was killed over purely words. He wasn't a politician. He wasn't a lawmaker. He wasn't a legislator. Did he influence some policy? Absolutely. There's no doubt in that. Did he have some powerful politician friends? Absolutely. No doubt in that either. But one thing he wasn't a politician himself. Let me make sure this is going good. Okay. Anyways, and so what I refer to him as is this is no different than the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I mean, he wasn't a politician. He wasn't a lawmaker. He just had a dream. Every pun intended. He had a very strong conviction and wanted to spark change, just like Charlie did. And just like MLK being assassinated sparked change, I'm hoping Charlie will as well. Charlie's assassination, hopefully, will put a fire under where it needs to go. But guys, let's get into this video. So this is it's not very long. It's only 7 minutes or so. But it's basically a compilation of Charlie's most famous "Prove Me Wrong" segment, where he invited anybody really. He would travel around, visit college campuses, invite anyone to come up and ask him a question or debate him or try to prove him wrong. Now I've only ever seen the videos of him succeeding. I'm sure he failed a few times, but he kept doing it, and he was proud of it, and he died doing what he loved. I honestly feel like he loved it. So, without further ado, let's bring that up. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted to do. Technical difficulties, guys. Like I said, normally I'm doing this over here and while Russ is rambling. So, this is a new... Boop. It's not going to work. Maybe. That's not right. Bingo, bango. All right. Sorry, guys. While I'm doing this, guys, remember to like this stream, follow this channel, share it to all your friends and family. Hit that repost button if you're on YouTube or Rumble. And we love gifted subscriptions. You can gift subscriptions on YouTube and Rumble, I believe, but really only use Rumble. We're not monetized on YouTube. We're too small of a channel. So if you're on Rumble, you want to give some subscriptions, we love it. It helps us out. It helps the motherland out. The motherland is the newest digital network out there called Grandma's Boy Media Digital Network. It includes this show, Hits Home Jackson with John Wilson, and then my personal show, the Grandma's Boy Podcast. You can follow that on Twitter, X, excuse me, and just like you can follow us on X, follow all the channels. And of course, if you want to donate to the show, we appreciate it. It's not mandatory. We just enjoy you watching for sure. But if you look right above my head over here, I got my camera set up weird. You'll see right above the stick in Stick to the Plan is the Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/STTP pod. You can donate there or donate right here on Rumble, and we do appreciate it, guys. So let's get into the video because I got it ready now. I wasted just enough time, I think, to make it work. But yeah, this is just Charlie Kirk owning libtards is the best way to describe it. I mean, I can't think of a better way, and I think that's the way he would say it, right? Again, this is oopsies. I wanted to honor Charlie Kirk, and I wanted to cover him today because we haven't done it on this show. But I didn't want to be sad about it because everyone else is being sad about it, and I didn't want to do that. Nope. So I'm just getting it adjusted here, guys. I thought I had it, but I was wrong. But story of my life. Here we are, guys. I hope you enjoy it. We don't do many videos on this stream. So, especially not mid-show. So let's hang out and watch this.
Feel proud of yourself for debating college kids who are unprepared to speak in front of an audience like yourself.
Well, here's the problem, little lady. In my opinion, at least. And since I'm the only one here today, my opinion is the only one that matters. How dare you say that how do you feel about them being unprepared? Bullshit. You stepped up to the microphone. They step up to the microphone. If you were so unprepared, then maybe you shouldn't have stepped up to the microphone against a titan of his art. My OCD is killing me right now. I'm trying to fix the screen. Boop. Good enough, I guess. Good enough for government work, they say. I don't know why it's not working now. Play. And play. There we go. Always technical difficulties, guys. Apologize for that. All right. Should be good now. See, there's a lot more of the screen you're going to see. And if you notice, this is how all of his things were. It's like, there was always one super lib holding a iced coffee and trying to catch him up in some BS, surrounded by a million red MAGA hats. Anyways, let's see. Oh, you.
Hold on. You're 30 years old. We can agree you're 30 years old, right? Do you think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a voter?
I am a voter. I'm a registered voter.
I vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization.
If you notice, the gentleman sitting right next to him, you may recognize him as former presidential candidate Ramaswamy. They were buddies. If you notice, sitting right next to him. Sorry, I'm just checking the audio always. All right, yeah, our audio sounds good. So I feel comfortable now. So producing duty's over. Let's go.
That's what I'm doing here today. Yeah? Wait, hold on. How is it any different than a professor talking to you?
Than a professor talking to you? Who are you?
Well, important enough for you to come up to a microphone.
You create a company that's like close to being a fascist, and then
okay. How am I?
Sorry.
Let's go through this. How am I a fascist?
No. Dude,
Can you name one thing I believe that's fascist?
You believe that you are. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Don't boo. Let him think.
But I'm such a bad fascist. I let the people who disagree in open mic to talk to me for 2 hours uninterrupted.
Okay.
I'm an awful fascist. I'm more like a free speech liberal of the 1970s, not a fascist.
But I just want to say Turning Point USA is a evil company that was funded by thousands of fracking companies, and
No, it's not thousands, but we do have some frackers that give us money. But
yeah, and then all it is making the rich more rich.
Fascism to fracking.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
Okay, again, I'm happy to have a debate. I can see you're getting kind of fired up.
I'm sorry.
So, but why are we evil? Like we're having a nice discussion.
Because
all of a sudden you're calling me
because
a fascist.
It seems like you just want the rich get even more rich. Like
we haven't talked about the rich at all. I mean, so you don't even know my positions on this stuff.
Under no circumstance ever should a man ever let a woman pay for a date, or you should split ever. No.
Amen. I was raised to never, if avoidable, to let women touch door handles, gas pumps, or the bill. Even friends, female friends of mine, not even dates, just hanging out. It's weird to me. And like the most egregious thing is when you pull up to that gas station and there's a young lady pumping gas into the car while her boyfriend sits in the passenger seat with it all laid back. It literally rubs my soul when that happens. So right off the cut, Charlie, I agree. But let's see what this goes.
Even on the third, fourth, fifth.
What if it's the first date and you're just not into
for anything?
Okay, well let me.
Period.
Well, let me. Okay, so
what kind of world are we living in?
Well, hold on a second. I agree with you. If I'm dating a girl, I would pay for everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. However, I could see for other people that might be in a different financial position, you pay for 10 dates and then she's like, you know what? I want to treat you.
Well, that's
I think that's so
that's
sweet,
totally different. No, what we're what we're talking about is like, oh, we're gonna alternate. Like, well, once you're serious and she wants to take you out to something for a nice dinner, and you might, by the way, if you have the intent to marry, you're already like kind of blending finances. Like, I get that psychologically, but like if you're like, oh, we'll take turns. Like, oh, well,
People, unfortunately, Charlie brought up a good point. People don't date with the intent to marry anymore.
you pay this time, I pay this time.
What's your advice to a girl who the guy she's currently seeing, he says that?
Oh, do not marry that man.
But here's the thing. I feel like they should always
break an
That's
offer.
Great, but they should offer. They should pull out the credit card.
The woman, of course,
just to offer.
No,
it's a nice gesture.
No. By the way, no. This is feminism. Feminism is that you have to be this like self-independent. This is not a nice gesture. It's you trying to be like egalitarian. No, you as women should want to be provided for. In fact, you should have an expectation that you as a woman are so important and so critical and so necessary and beautiful that it shouldn't even be a question.
Do you view democracy as an American value?
Like, I've never seen that clip. I've never seen this whole clip. I have a rule. When I play a video, I don't pre-watch it. I like to react in real time just as you would. And it's just, I think it makes better viewing. But, Charlie, I agree with you 100%. What happened to women looking for providers? What are they looking for now? That's a conversation for a whole nother show, whole nother episode.
Is something that's very important to the fabric of this country.
No. Where is democracy in the U.S. Constitution?
Oh, okay. So
No, hold on. Where is the word democracy?
I don't think the word democracy is in the Constitution.
So where is the word democracy in any of the founding fathers?
A lot of the founding fathers had extremely elitist viewpoints around who should.
Hold on. I just want to. You said the word democracy, so I want to get back to our roots.
Yes.
Where is democracy mentioned? In the Federalist Papers, the Constitution, or the Declaration?
I think it's good that this country has moved away from things that were explicitly believed by the founding
in the Federalist
fathers.
Papers, and it's mentioned negatively as a problem. So you ask me, is democracy a fundamental American value? I say no.
Okay.
Because I go back to our roots. And
we're not a democracy. We never really were.
Hamilton, Madison, and Jay.
Oh, I know that Hamilton was anti-democracy.
Hold on,
these
let me
people
finish.
thought that people should be owned as
I want to be
property.
clear. I am pro-representative government,
Okay.
but I'm not pro-democracy. That's a big difference, and that distinction's important. But you asked very specifically about democracy, which is not an American value. It never has been and never should be, because what is democracy? Democracy is majority rule no matter what. That there's no provisions of checks and balances, no inalienable rights, no separation of powers, pure if the majority gets it, the majority wants it as quickly as possible.
I don't advocate pure democracy. I do understand that we live in a representative.
Yeah. See, this is the other thing. Charlie's great at making them backtrack.
Like we live in a republic, and I understand these things.
You're a stochastic terrorist.
What is that?
You're targeting a minority group.
Wait, what did he call? What did you
I
call
don't
him?
advocate pure democracy. I do understand that we live in a representative. Like we live in a republic, and I understand these things.
You're a stochastic
A stochastic
terrorist.
What is that?
You're targeting a minority group. You're targeting trans people
Got it.
specifically.
What is a woman?
What is it? That's a stupid ass question, dude. That's a dumb ass question.
What is a woman, college student?
What is a woman? Oh, you're talking to a college student instead of, like, I don't know, someone who has media training?
They can't answer what a woman is. It's not a trick question. What is a woman?
Someone who identifies as a woman.
What is that thing? You can't answer the question with the question.
Yeah. What is a woman? Well, it's a woman. It's like, what is a hippopotamus? Well, it's a hippopotamus. Get him, Charlie.
It's like saying, what is the sun? The sun is something that looks like the sun. What is a woman?
It's a social
No, you can't answer the question with, define the woman without saying woman. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Yes, ma'am. How?
Real quick, for anyone out there that wondered, stochastic terrorist is a public figure or influential communicator who uses mass media to disseminate hostile, inflammatory rhetoric that indirectly incites ideologically motivated violence against specific individuals or groups. This form of incitement relies on dehumanizing and vilifying targets in a way that makes violent attacks statistically probable, even if the specific timing even if the specific timing, perpetrator, and method of any individual attack remain unpredictable. Okay. It's a bully. I mean, I don't think that speaking your beliefs is bullying, but I mean, I've learned not to argue with liberals because you'll never win. And just for shits and giggles, guys. Let's look up exactly the question he asked that that student or whatever said was a stupid question, and then answered it with the word, which I mean, I think everybody who went to elementary school has been told you never answer a question, or you never define a word or define something with the something. That doesn't make any sense, right? So he asked, "What is a woman?" He said that was a stupid question, but it said, "A woman is an adult female human. Women considered as a group, womankind, adult female human belonging to a specified occupation, group, nationality, or other category, often used in combination." So it's adult human female. I mean, really, when it breaks it down, it if you're going to go scientifically, I suppose, I'm sure it's in here. Yeah, of course it didn't pop up. But, it's a human being born with female reproductive organs. Right? Anyway, continue, Charlie. Oh, the little girl.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
What's your name?
Dakota.
Nice to meet you, Dakota. How old are you?
I'm 11.
Amazing. Give it up for Dakota being here today.
That's brave. That's a brave little girl.
So, I'm pro-life. I'm a fiscal conservative. And I know I want to get into politics when I grow up. I don't want to get into massive debt for a political science degree.
I hate the idea that this little girl is spouting this because these are not her words.
What concrete steps can I take now in order to achieve the goal of doing my part to make America great again?
Oh, great.
All right. Base little girl. I like it.
You should go to Hillsdale College, America's greatest college, and start studying now. Start taking
Hillsdale College. You heard that? You heard that, John? Shout out to Hillsdale.
classes, reading books. You have to
John
be in charge
Lance,
of
all
your
the boys
own
down there.
education, and the fact you're thinking like this at 11 is a great sign. God bless you, and the future is very bright. Thank you. Do you want a hat? What's your name?
None of your business, unfortunately. But
okay, hello.
None of your business, unfortunately. Is that an appropriate thing? Like, I mean, manners, guys.
So nice to meet you. None of your business.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And by the way, I'm 99% sure that's a man behind that mask.
But do you love America?
Yes, I do.
I hate America.
Oh, well, then go back to Cambodia or wherever you're from. Yeah, you're never going to get a good support on that one.
Every state in the USA should be an independent country. What do you think of this?
That's chaos.
Well, I just first have to ask, since you hate the country, do you plan to leave?
What do you mean by that?
Do you
What?
plan to go live in another country?
No, I do not.
These people. I swear to God, these people. These people. Oh, I just realized this is way off-centered. I wonder if I can fix that. There we go. That'll help. That looks a little bit better. No. Well, you're an idiot, someone said.
Let me tell you something.
Your face is an idiot.
America
Your face.
is the only...
This person said, your face is an idiot. This is what we're dealing with, people.
country where even those who hate it refuse to leave.
Right? Amen.
That's how...
Because if you hate it in other countries, guess what you do? You come to America. Right? Right?
How you know you live in a great country.
Like I said, guys, that was just a good positive video from Mr. Charlie Kirk that I wanted to play because, like I said, it's been covered ad nauseum. Did I not do this correctly? Sure didn't. That's cool. I'll figure it out. Give me a second. Boop. I resized the wrong thing. It happens. OBS is hard, guys. I should be better at it. I only do it, I don't know, 30 hours a goddamn week. But yeah, so I wanted to play that just to remember Charlie in a positive sense. And you know, I think that he was a true patriot. He really did love America. And what he did, he put himself on the line every day for that, you know. And unfortunately, what happened. And I think that's a big deal. I really do. What time is it? Oh, we still got an hour left of the show, guys. So, I'm still waiting for see if Roy Ratt pops in. If not a big deal. I told him that I do a morning show, and this morning I did say if he wasn't feeling up to it, then don't worry about it. I'll hold it down. Might not be the show that we normally get, but it's a show. Guys, make sure you like the stream. Follow this channel. Follow us on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, it's all down in the description, but do I have that right here? I sure do. Yeah. Facebook.com/PlanPod. You can also find us on X. That's x.com/PlanPod. You can donate to the show right on Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/STTPpod. Or right here on Rumble. We appreciate every dollar. And it makes the world go round, you know, regardless. Since we do have a whole nother hour, I have another one of those. And I was debating on which one I wanted to play, and I had decided on the one that I played, which I'm happy I did. But we got time for the other one, so I'm gonna play it. I'm in charge today, guys. Ayo. Boop boop. Ayo. That's not right either. Okay. The second one is also another Charlie Kirk, of course. In honor of him, like I said, we're not going to play any of the negative stuff. We're just going to remember Charlie Kirk for doing what he loved to do, and you know the fact that he loved America. But this one is it's a little more pointed, I guess, because that was just some of his great highlights. This one is Charlie Kirk's best comebacks and takedowns. So, you know, when he's backed into a corner, him coming back and doing it. We have a lot more to cover, guys. Don't worry. Later in the show, we're going to switch gears totally. And we're going to talk about some Michigan elector stuff. And I don't want to say backlash, but you'll see. Stick around for that, but let's watch this. This is Charlie Kirk's best comebacks and takedowns.
We got racism all over the U.S.
I gotta turn that down. And you guys watch this. Well, I'm gonna have to step away for just a moment, but I promise I'll be right back.
Just had a race riot 3 years ago. Oh my God! And then we had all 50 states plus 18 countries.
Let me tell you. It is not an argument in your favor that we're a racist country because blacks decide to start burning down Wendy's and stealing stuff. That's called criminality.
Actually, it is. Yeah, black people were burning it down. Why? Racism. Racism was
because of racism.
And we can pretend that it's not a big issue, but hey, if you don't want to, then that's just called being obtuse. And that's why I asked you. Why did you have such a big problem with talking about racism? So
let me give you some examples of racism that could be proven. How about affirmative action at this college that discriminates against Asian students and white students? How about affirmative action hiring practices in the federal government? We are such a decent, non-racist country. The best example that he has is to show that he was mistreated. And if he acted like this at the DeSantis event, I can see why he was kicked out of the DeSantis event.
A flag outside of somebody's house, I just automatically assume you racist.
Oh, most definitely. But we felt that way for years. Like, I'm 51. And even as a kid, we knew. It was understood. If there was an American flag at their house, there's some racist ass white mother. That's just what it was. I thought everybody thought that or knew that. It's funny to see that they're saying it now and it's like it's kind of new, but no. Yeah, been thinking about that, thought that forever.
Well, then leave the country, but they won't, because America is such a great country that even those who say they hate it refuse to leave.
So, Charlie, I don't know if you knew from the everywhere around everything all the time, but this month is in fact Pride Month. Which what did you tweet the other day?
Pride is a sin.
So we're going to look at some companies and see what they have done to put themselves on the woke map in terms of Pride Month. First one here is Monopoly. This, I feel like, is kind of lazy. I don't think they actually put too much effort in it. They just looked.
It doesn't look any different.
Well, they just took some of the properties and like organized them in a rainbow-esque way.
Oh, I mean, this is pretty weak. I mean, if you're trying to actually pay tribute to the holy relic of Pride Month, there's no like reaccommodation. Where's the trans flag in that? That's so like 2009 Pride style. Well, by the way, how many letters are we at?
I think we're at 17 now.
No, I think it is LGBTQIA+, right?
There's a 2 in there somewhere for Two-Spirit.
No, is it really?
You know, we all live on the same planet.
Sure, that's not a letter. That's a number.
Okay, so great question. Why do borders matter? Because borders are a distinction and a physical delineation of when good ideas start and bad ideas start. For example,
are you saying the United States is the good side and the other side?
Without a doubt, our laws are much more moral than the laws in Mexico, without a shadow of a doubt. We have due process, we have cross-examination of witnesses, we have the rule of law. You know what happens when you illegally immigrate to Mexico? You get deported back to your home country. Why don't we do the same? Secondly, if the walls don't work, why does Mexico have a wall on their southern border with Guatemala? You protect your own country because you care about your citizens, not because you hate the people on the outside.
I think the government has a moral obligation to protect innocent life when confronted with the question of someone intervening to end that life.
I think there's a bit of a difference, and the analogy that I usually use, or the question that I usually ask pro-life people, is: do you believe that the government should mandate organ donation?
What?
We say that you shouldn't have to donate your organs, but the pro-life case seems to extend to the idea that even people who are living should have to give up their kidneys to people in hospitals. Maybe?
I don't quite see it that way. Well, first of all, again, in 99.67% of the cases, the woman made a choice that could potentially.
In my understanding of organ donation, that's after you die, right? Not while you're alive. That's a completely different thing.
There's 0.4%. What do you think should happen then?
Oh, I think the baby should be delivered. Doing something wrong after something evil is never the right thing. So, I mean, when it comes to mandating organ donations,
we know
I don't even see how that's applicable to the question. Because in 99.6% of the cases, the mother made a choice to be able to get pregnant.
So, like, there's actually a statistics or a study done that suggests that climate-related.
I'm sorry, Third Rail Politics and Darth Hideous. I had the wrong chat up, and I didn't know you were here. There are no manners in politics. Absolutely. How do you manage to do 19 shows a week and still remain unemployed? Oh, thanks, Darth. You just coming at me like that, huh? Hooray, a creator that's not a faggot or... Well, I mean, I've had to watch the vile hate videos way too many times, right? That's why I decided not to do that today, Darth. I've seen enough of them, and I figured we'd play some of the good Charlies. I stood for less. It stood for less Biden. Oh, wait. Oh, I declare myself a warlord. Okay. It stood for let's get Biden to quit injuring America. LGBTQIA. Got it. Oh, okay. The plus stands for Kamala. But we don't need the acronym anymore because Biden is gone. We need one for Trump now. Well, the Rumble chat is chat today. That's what we like to see. Absolutely. Say things in that chat. We love it. We love to hear it. Yeah, I'll make sure the right chat's up this time so that I don't keep ignoring you guys. I promise I wasn't ignoring you. You guys know that. I don't ignore you.
Disasters are 8 times more likely than in 1980s.
Well, hold on a second. You know that we have less people dying because of quote-unquote climate-related disasters thanks to fossil fuels. We have less people dying because of extreme...
If I'm not mistaken, and to answer your question, no, I've never been a tourist in Guatemala, Darth. But Charlie had some. It might have been Guatemala, where he worked with the president in Guatemala, and he was very well revered there. If I remember correctly. Could be wrong.
Exposure to cold, hurricanes because of the advancements we have thanks to fossil fuels. You know, this idea, it's very interesting in modern society. We take for granted the idea of having widespread shelter, heating, or air conditioning in extreme climates, thanks to hydrocarbons, we take for granted. That used to be a leading cause of death of human beings up until 1850s.
When I grow up, I want to work for a woke company, like super woke. When I grow up, I want to be hired based on what I look like rather than my skills.
I want to be judged by my political beliefs.
I want to get promoted
Based on my chromosomes. When I grow up, I want to be offended by my coworkers and walk around the office
on eggshells
and have my words policed
by HR. Words like
grandfather,
peanut gallery,
long time no see.
no can do.
When I grow up,
HR departments hate me, by the way.
I want to be obsessed with emotional safety and do workplace sensitivity training all day long. When I grow up, I want to climb the corporate ladder.
just by following the crowd.
I want to be a conformist.
These kids are going to make it.
Weaponize my pronouns. What are pronouns?
That is exactly how we beat the woke, by mocking them. And just for the record, for the first 15 seconds, I couldn't tell if it was a parody or not. That's how you know it's good stuff.
People don't go out saying, guess what? I'm trans.
Yeah, they
just
do.
kind of exist. That's Twitter. That's Twitter. I can guarantee you.
And TikTok and most campuses. People say they're trans all the time. If the change is not part of their identity, then why do they call themselves trans?
I do it so I can get away with things.
Well, I mean, it's just
I'm being
a
serious,
title.
actually.
Everybody, like, our society is more, we want titles for just about everything.
I agree. So I don't accept the title, and I should have a right not to accept it.
Fair.
Well, everybody has a right to be respected. They haven't done any wrong to
No,
you.
you don't have a right to be respected. You have a right to speak. You have to earn respect. Abortion was legal in this country for 40 years.
And crime dropped
Thankfully,
40% after it went.
Wait, hold on. Do you think abortion lowers crime rate?
Crime dropped 40% after abortion became legal.
Why is that the case?
It's called a statistic.
It's called a statistic. Yeah, like Charlie Kirk doesn't know statistics. I'm betting that there was other legislation that went on. I wonder if Charlie's going to touch on that.
Who has the most abortions in America?
Women.
Black people. Is that
Black
so? Are you
women.
trying to say the termination of blacks in the womb lower crime?
Oh.
That's a very racist argument.
Someone who's young and just started dating, what is your advice in dating and pursuing marriage as a Christian?
I recommend saving yourself for marriage. Okay? And I'm not here to shame you if you've made a different decision or if you disagree, but that you're going to live a better life if you do that. And women have a lot more negotiating power than I think you realize in that situation.
That's true.
You might say, well, none of the men will date me. Well, you're dating the wrong men. Okay? To be very honest. And I do recommend, though, there's a real thing that you will hear, is that if you put off dating seriously for the intent of marrying, dating is not a vocation, it's not a hobby, it's not to use time. Dating must lead towards something. So you must date with the intent to marry. So you should not even open yourself up into the dating pool, period, if you can't potentially see, at least at the criteria beginning, spending the rest of your life with that person.
Fair.
Soviet example was so great. Why were people fleeing the Soviet Union for Western democracies, and they weren't fleeing Western democracies for the Soviet Union?
Yeah, I don't defend this generation of Soviet Union. As explained before, the Lenin atrocity, they pointed out that the revolution was international, that it was contained within a single nation.
It wasn't contained. You tried it in Afghanistan. You tried it in Ukraine. You tried it in Lithuania. You tried it in Latvia. You tried it in Zimbabwe. You tried it in Cuba. You tried it in Central America. You tried it all throughout the... What are you talking about? You tried it on the Korean Peninsula. You tried it in Kyrgyzstan. You tried it in Pakistan. You tried it in China. You tried it in Vietnam. You tried it in Laos. You tried it in Cambodia. You tried it in Indochina. What do you mean contained?
You're not educating. This is propaganda. What are you gonna do? Like,
This is a professor.
Is that what you're gonna do next?
Oh, wow.
This is bullshit. This is violent. You're triggering my students.
Super polite,
You're
ferocious,
not. You can't even
cool.
have-
I'm sure he was.
So you don't even know what that is. You don't even know what this is. Get this out of here, yo. Away from my door. Get the away from my door.
Let's
It's
get
a
out of
big ass
here.
knife.
You can't do that. Okay, so this professor should be held accountable for property destruction. and then should be obviously fired and terminated. But more importantly, why you're terrorizing pro-life students. I've said it once, I'll say it again. College is a scam. For all your parents out there, when you send your kids to college, you are paying and in times going into debt so maniacs like her can indoctrinate your kids.
Do you believe in the First Amendment and freedom of speech? Just because it's critical to the next question.
Well, it's probably leading the questioner, but you bring it on. Yeah, I believe in the First Amendment.
Okay. The second question is, do you believe CRT should be banned in states? Obviously, banning speech is a very risky thing to do.
I know exactly where your question's coming from. Do you think we should teach eugenics in schools?
No.
Okay, so that would be banning speech, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so bad ideas should be banned and not taught to kids.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We got racism.
Game, set, and match. Charlie. Like I said, guys, I didn't want to, even though this show has covered none of the Charlie stuff. Every other stream has. B Money, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show. The very different show. For those of you just joining us, I know it looks a little bit different. It's just me today. Russ is up at the Charlie Kirk Vigil up in Lansing, fresh off of his mountain man vacation down in Tennessee. So I decided to take the helm. I invited Roy RATT on, but I also told him that if he wasn't feeling up to it or whatever, that it's not a big deal. I carry the show. You guys all know that. Everyone in the chat knows that, at least, because you guys see me all the time, streaming a lot. But it is what it is. I have fun. This is fun. But like I was getting to is I didn't want to cover the sad part of Charlie. I wanted to, play some of his greatest hits, I guess, and that's what we did today so far. So, glad I did that. I hope everybody enjoyed it. A system so wonderful. People build rafts out of trash and brave the Gulf of America to escape. Oh, you're talking about Russia. Or not Russia. Cuba. Gosh darn. Yes, dang it. Hey, guys, we do the show every Monday at 2 p.m. That's right, every Monday at 2 p.m. We have some great guests. We had a gubernatorial candidate last week. We've had both Republican AG candidates. I don't know if there's more, but two of them at least have been on, both Doug Lloyd and Kevin. I always mess up his Krasinski, that guy. They've both been on. Which is a segue. Kevin Kajewski, he is a lawyer, but he was a lawyer for one of the 15 false electors that were brought up on charges a couple of years ago. I disagree with Charlie on a lot, but he definitely wasn't a bad guy in the country. He seemed like a genuinely good guy, just misguided. I mean, I don't want to say misguided, even if you don't enjoy, even if you didn't agree with him, which there's plenty of times I didn't agree with him. I don't think it's right to agree with somebody all the time, regardless. That doesn't make it misguided. I mean, in your eyes, maybe, but overall, I mean, he said it with his chest. I invited Roy RATT, but also told him he was banned. Well, I talked to him today as well, and he knows he's not. Darth, good try. 19 shows a week and still looking for that institutional money. Yeah, money. Just money in general is fine. That's what it is. And I only do 3 shows a week. I just do a lot of them. See, 10, 11, 12. I do 14 episodes. So, jealous much? Jim Beam has sponsorship. I would love to be sponsored by Jim Beam. I don't drink like I used to on stream anymore. So I'm behaving myself a little bit. Anyways, guys, we're going to move on. So like I said, Kevin Kajewski, who is a Republican candidate for Michigan Attorney General. We had him on the show not long ago. He was a great guy. I was able to see him speak right here at the JXN GOP headquarters in the beautiful Commonwealth Center in downtown Jackson, Michigan. I couldn't get the words out, guys. Sorry. It's been I've done 8 hours of streaming in the last 12. So, anyways, he was the lawyer for one of the false electors. If you're not familiar with the case, it was here in Michigan where 15 appointed people were brought up on charges like forgery and blah, blah. Basically, they made it sound like they met all secret squirrely, like in an underground layer, and signed a bunch of paperwork that claimed that Trump was president and it was going to overturn everything. Well, they were brought up on these charges, and I got a little bit a video for a little bit more information on it. But most of them were elderly people. We'll say elderly, over 50. Some of them were up in their 80s even, but they were looking at like 75 years in prison for this crap. Well, it got thrown out. Thank God. It should have been from the beginning. It was the definition of the left using lawfare to try to prove their point, so that no one else will ever challenge their decisions again. I could have sworn it. Nope. 15. Darth. One of them, a very good friend of the Jackson GOP, at least, Mr. Hank Cho. He was brought up on it as well, and it's really sad. It was really sad. I was saddened by it. I have notes here. So let's go into. I got a couple videos. I'm a video guy, guys. My other shows, all video. What was that? So if you if you're confused on why I'm playing so many videos, that's what I do. When you're alone, it's hard to just continue to ramble. People don't like that so much. So let me pull this video up. How about that? And I do have reaction videos from the people that brought up these funky charges. All right, so this is Michigan judge tosses case against 16. 16, dang it. I was good. I sworn it was 15. Accused fake electors for Trump in 2020.
But first at 5.
This is a news segment, so take it with a grain of salt, I suppose. But if it doesn't have the information that I'm looking for, because if you don't know about what's going on, just know that this was literally the left trying to use lawfare. I mean, we've seen it over and over again. January 6th was a great example. Send them all to prison. Go to prison for trespassing now. But anyways, let's watch this. This is I believe this is the coverage of the case getting dismissed.
The story we first brought you breaking today at noon. A judge ruling a group of 16 people accused of trying to falsely certify President Trump as the winner of the 2020 election will not face trial. We appreciate you joining us. I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Simon Shaquette. Judge Kristen D. Simmons finding no intent to commit fraud in their actions after several years.
That was the big point. There was no intent. They were attempting, or they had no intent to defraud anybody. And you know what's going to be funny is when you see this judge. Not what you would think. You think like like a grizzly old man. Electors, let them free. You'll see.
Years of back and forth.
The 15.
That might be Kevin Kajewski right there. I didn't see him much from that angle, but
Defendants, including a few high-profile members of the Michigan Republican Party, were each charged 2 years ago with 8 counts of forgery and conspiracy to commit election fraud.
7 News Detroit reporter Whitney Burney joining us in studio live with reaction from both sides and what lies ahead. Whitney.
Well, Simon and Glenn, today's ruling, a major...
that's their audio, by the way, not mine. News stations are great at audio.
Blow to Michigan's Attorney General Dana Nessel and other prosecutors as similar cases in 4 other states have been hit with similar setbacks.
Arizona.
While Nessel believes the evidence here was clear, those accused are celebrating a victory on what they say was retaliation.
The evidence was clear. They lied, they knew they lied, and they tried to steal the votes of millions of Michiganders.
Michigan Attorney General
Well, I was going to play that video.
Dana Nessel says this all started in December of 2020 when 16 people walked into a room with a mission to sign and mail a document to the U.S. Senate, falsely claiming to be duly elected and qualified electors for the state of Michigan and that Donald Trump was the rightful winner of the presidential election.
We are talking about 16 people who conspired to nullify the votes of the other 2,649,851 voters who happened to disagree with them.
After 2.5 years of litigation, Judge Kristen D. Simmons
By the way, guys, this judge, not what you expect. Get ready.
declaring Tuesday morning the accused men and women would not face.
By the way, that was Kevin, candidate for AG, and I think this will help his campaign. That's for sure. There's a lot of people that are hoping on both sides that were hoping this was going to get dismissed. They were just good old home people, and from my understanding, signing that document is something that is pretty traditional and pretty typical. In that way, in case there is some type of recount or toss up or something, that they cover their butts. I don't know. I wish Russ was here for that. I'll have him explain that next week.
Charges in the case, finding no intent to commit fraud.
There was no criminal intent. There was absolutely nothing proven in any way that we were at fault of any of the things that we were charged with, horrible things that we were charged with. I was looking at 84 years in prison, and it's taken us 2.5 years to fight this.
Michonne Maddock, one of the 16 defendants in this case.
Don't forget, not just 2 years of their life going through this, the stress, could you imagine? But hundreds of thousands of dollars for each defendant for their own counsel. So
what do you want people to know about what you guys were attempting to do during that time when it came to the election?
You know, it's really easy, and Judge Simmons brought it up. We went Facebook Live and said that we were never meant to replace the electors that were in the Capitol, that what we were doing was signing a document to go alongside in case it was needed. And if the election
kind of like what I said, I wish I knew more
in
details.
2020 had been revealed to have been stolen, like I know that it was, then the paperwork that we did would have been necessary.
Maddox says she believes she and the other electors were only targeted because of their loyalty to President Trump, and still believes to this day the election was stolen despite no evidence of widespread fraud ever being uncovered.
As prosecutors, we have a moral and ethical obligation to bring charges when there is evidence of a crime. And despite today's very wrong decision, the evidence is clear and overwhelming.
Now, Maddox says she is now exploring litigation options as she believes her civil rights were violated. The Attorney General says they'll determine at a later time if they will appeal the judge's decision. Simon?
Of course they will.
For the live report.
All right. Well,
I can damn near promise you that they will. They're going to drag this out. The only thing that'll save them is Miss Nessel and Miss Benson and all them. They're going to be out of here in 2026. I mean, the judge ruled, and it wasn't that the judge even ruled to throw it out because of, oh, they're definitely guilty, blah, 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 or they're definitely innocent. Just crawled out of bed, warming back. Hey, no problem, Roy Rat, man. You're good. I got about 25 minutes left here, so you rest up, get that coffee in you. You're good, buddy. But I appreciate it. By the way, never listen to Darth. Darth says you're banned, but Darth is a butthole. Anyways, yeah. So this fake elector thing, like Marshawn Maddox said, if all they were doing was signing a piece of paper to go along with the official document, the elector document, in case it was needed. Come on, that's too much. 25 minutes left of the segment of the show. 3:30 is usually when I try to cut out RATT. It's supposed to go 90 minutes. We started at 2. We did the first part of the show. We did Charlie and played some positive stuff instead of all the negative bullshit going around. And now we're just talking about the fake electors. All 15 cases were thrown out of court, dismissed, because they showed no intent. That was what I was getting at, is that it wasn't like the judge says, like, oh, they're definitely not guilty, so they don't have to stand trial. It's that they looked at the law and said to be charged with those crimes, you have to show intent to defraud someone. And there was no intent to defraud someone. And plus, I don't know how you can get forgery from signing your own name. It's lawfare, guys. It is what it is. No, you're fine, right? We'll get you on, buddy. We'll get you on. No worries at all. Guys, make sure you like the stream, follow the channel, do all the stuff. You know how to do it. Come on, people. Share this with all your friends and family. If you're on Rumble or YouTube, you can repost. That helps us out a ton. Also, we loved gifted subscriptions. That's right, gifted subs. You can do it right here on Rumble. Do it on Rumble, because on YouTube, I don't even know if you can gift subscriptions on YouTube, because we're not monetized. But on Rumble, you can. That's right. Gift subscriptions. They help us out a ton. It shows that people care. John Smith in the chat. How you doing, buddy? Yep, holding down the fort. Holding down the fart. Mostly the fart. I don't have my glasses on, so it's kind of hard to read that. So I thought it said fart the first time. Howdy, Darth. How'd your day go? Yeah, John, I thought about giving you a little ring-a-ling-a-ding and seeing if you wanted to come on, but I decided not to. I decided to switch it up a little, make it a little bit different. Russ is up in Lansing, if you don't know, for the Charlie Kirk Vigil. Anyways, I have more of this. So actually, John, you're a good one. You're here. Talking about how the paperwork that the fake electors signed, like, that's a pretty traditional paperwork that would typically be signed, right? From what I've heard. And that was just to go along with the official document, just in case there was a mix-up or a recount or something. Is that correct? No. This John is John a Green Beret. That's funny. John has been on the show a few times, RATT. It could have been before you started hanging out over here. But he is he's a good friend of my dad's. Very politically active down south of us, and north of us, and in the same county. He's very politically active everywhere. Yes, because there was a question. Okay. I think I understand what you're saying. I thought I was on the right track, but I wanted to double check. I don't want to. Anyway, so we just watched that, how all 16 got thrown out. And I joked because the judge was not what you'd expect. It wasn't like some grizzly old Republican man. No, it was a black lady. That's crazy. You just don't expect. I don't know. I don't think anyone expected her to be on their side, unfortunately. But why would you when the government's fucked you over that bad? Looking at 86 years for forging your own name? This is garbage. Anyways, but then, of course, there was reactions. And the reactions, I got a video and an article. First, we're going to play the video first. It's basically the reaction of Attorney General Dana Nessel speaking out against the decision. We saw part of it in that last clip. But
I'm Lauren Winfrey. If you're just
this is the full clip, and let's check it out. Check it out. Senator Jonathan Lindsay is a Green. Oh, yep. I was trying to think, what John? Oh, we had John Shannon on the His Home Jackson show the day before. So on September 10th, and he was a Green Beret. It's weird. Hits home Jackson with John Wilson, and we had John Shannon, who's John Shannon's brother's name is Rick, and so is John Wilson. That was a weird day. Anyways, so this is Dana Nessel reaction to the case getting dismissed.
Fake electors case we first brought you 2 years ago. It led to 16 Michiganders facing felony charges for their alleged attempt to interfere with the results of the 2020 presidential election. We're learning all of their charges were dropped. Here's Attorney General Dana Nessel with an update.
Quite a simple one. On December 14th of 2020, a group of 16 people entered the Michigan GOP headquarters with a mission to sign and mail a document to the United States Senate, falsely claiming three things. One, that they were the duly elected and qualified electors for the state of Michigan. Two, that they convened and organized in the Michigan State Capitol. And three, that Donald J. Trump had won Michigan's popular vote.
But according to the electors, and I didn't know this until today, actually, but they went on Facebook Live and declared none of those things is what they were doing. They were signing a piece of paper to, just in case, assist in the electoral college stuff. I don't know. Now, I think every single one of them, just like most of the people around, I mean, think that election was stolen. But come on, Dana.
Now, we know that all three of these things were lies, and they did too. How do we know this? Well, they knew that the State Board of Canvassers had certified the election for Joe Biden. They knew that no recount was ever requested by the Trump campaign. They knew that they had lost every court case that had been filed in Michigan and across the country contesting the election.
Yeah, but they didn't lose this one, did they, Dana? What are you sending me here, John? I'm opening it right now. Give me a second. It takes a second because I have to do things with stuff. I'm going to play this while it's going, though.
He knew that the legislature, specifically then Speaker of the House Lee Chatfield and then Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey, had refused to convene in an attempt to change the election results. They were very clear about that.
All right.
They met these.
Listen here, Dana. Chill out for a second. doing too much. This is what John sent me, and it's Marshawn Maddox's post from December 14, 2020, the faithful day that she's speaking of. And Marshawn was one of the electors that were accused. It says, to the delegation of 16 Republican electors convened to cast their ballots for President Trump and send our pledges to Washington. Today, we did not replace any Democrat electors. We sent Republican electors alongside the Democrat electors just to be safe, despite being blocked from entering the Capitol. Sending more than one slate of electors is not unheard of, said Marshawn Maddox, at large national elector. It's our duty to the people of Michigan and the U.S. Constitution to send another slate of electors if the election is in controversy or dispute, and clearly it is. And here's a picture of the electors. Articles are saying Republican electors were blocked from entering the Capitol. Yeah, that's why they're in the Republican headquarters. MSB said everyone was checked in. Did you successfully vote on grounds? Confirm successful vote on grounds. If not, make sure that your property and vote before day ends. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Blah, 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 blah. Well, is it legal to block you all? So anyways, this is that day. And the biggest point here is today we did not replace any Democrat electors. We sent Republican electors alongside the Democrat electors just to be safe. We might as well be safe. I mean, come on, guys. Pizza boxes. We saw it in Michigan. Darcy, you're from Michigan. You probably remember that. There's a video, Marshawn, too, somewhere explaining to the media. I'll look that up while we finish whatever craziness Dana Nestle's going to throw at us here. She is an ugly lady, by the way. She is not an attractive woman at all.
False electors, not again in the Michigan Senate, where the electors have to meet to vote under law, but in the basement of MIGOP headquarters, where they were made to hand over their cell phones to be placed in a bag and where they took an oath of secrecy for the event. They formally replaced the 2 Trump electors who did not appear, one of whom was the former Secretary of State, Terry Lynn Land, who knew this to be an illegal proceeding and so did not show up.
Huh?
They signed a document that specifically stated that they were actually in the Michigan Senate and that the time was 2 p.m., which they had to, of course, known to be untrue. These documents, we know, were then transmitted to the National Archivist as well as to the United States Senate with the intent that the false slate be substituted for the legitimate Biden slate. And that had Vice President Pence selected this slate, Michigan's 16 electors would have wrongfully and fraudulently gone to Donald Trump instead of Joe Biden, who won Michigan by over 154,000 votes.
Exit out in the chat. I mean, I would. It'd be a great story, John. Don't get me wrong there. It would be a great story. I'm all about the story. We know this. But, you wouldn't want to wake up next to that every day. She'd probably charge you for forgery or something. 85 years on it.
Some of these people had been actual electors in the 2016 election and had to have known that this was not the proper procedure. One of the people was the Michigan GOP party chair. Another was...
Which is the article, or not the article, the post I just showed. That's who she's speaking of. I love how, by the way, that's a great still shot. I've gotten really good at that. But I love how angry it makes them when this shit happens to them. And this should have been thrown out years ago. It was dragged on for no reason. They weren't threatened by any of it. J6 was scary because people came to their house. Yeah, well, whatever. Me and John personally know a guy. I interviewed him, at least on the show. That was back when our internet sucked. But who went to federal prison over Christmas for trespassing. Literally, just trespassing. Do you think it was done on purpose that he went over Christmas? Absolutely. He's got a young family. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A municipal clerk of a large Michigan city, both who had to have known that what the actual rules were and specifically sought to circumvent them in a desperate hope that these 16 individuals could upend the votes of over 5.5 million voters in our state. And at times they even admitted that.
And I just don't... I don't know the process. I don't pretend to know the process. I have just been told that it was very... it's pretty common that this happens. And B, hell yeah. There should always be the other side, on any side, when these meet, because we've seen shady things happen during elections right here in Michigan, across the country. 2016, the pizza box thing, and ballot stuffing, all this crazy stuff, right? We need to have checks and balances. We need to keep that in line. I don't understand what the problem is, other than Miss Whitmer and her goon squad wanted to prove a point and say, hey, don't doubt us. If you go against us, we will put you in prison for 86 years for forging your own name. I'm 100% non-violent regarding all the most dire of tyrannical circumstances that even under the lockdowns would have not justified violence. You were in Michigan, Bob.
Evidence was presented, for instance,
this bitch goes on for 13 minutes.
On December 5th and 6th, Amy Fraccinello and Michonne Maddock had a Facebook Messenger.
John, I hope you laughed at that like I did on the inside. Did you see Dana there pretend she doesn't know who Michonne Maddox is? Michonne Maddox? Yeah, come on. You hear her name in your sleep.
Conversation, which was presented to the court. Amy asked Michonne, quote, have you received any communications about being an elector? I have not even gotten a letter or a single phone call. I have zero idea what is happening.
She's trying to be. Actually, if you think about it, it's kind of brave for that judge to look at that as on the legal stance of it. They had no intent of defrauding anyone and actually throw it out.
To which Michonne Maddock responded, well, we are no longer electors, unfortunately. Only if the president had won Michigan, the Biden electors will be brought in. You had many other statements that were made.
Guys, remember Florida in 2000? Remember that whole debacle?
During the course of this conspiracy that should have been enough to show exactly that these individuals knew what they were doing and had the intent that was required to show that they had committed multiple different crimes. They knew they were not electors. They knew they were not inside the Capitol. They knew Donald Trump lost, but then they lied anyway. And that is a crime. You take these social media conversations and these posts and you apply them to any other crime, and there would be overwhelming evidence to support criminal charges. Now, it's been claimed that these charges were vindictive or political. And I will say this, nothing can be further from the truth.
We don't believe her, right? I cannot wait till she's out of office.
As prosecutors, we have a moral and ethical obligation to bring charges when there is evidence of a crime. And despite today's very wrong decision, the evidence is clear and overwhelming. And to not have brought these charges in the face of these facts because it would have been controversial.
Roy RATT in Michigan, they were arresting people for doing yard work and home improvements on their home.
Or met with political accusations would really actually be the most political.
She got shark eyes. It's crazy.
So why do these charges matter? I mean, if these defendants had knowingly written a bad check, that is the crime of uttering and publishing all day, every day. I have prosecuted hundreds of crimes like that. Had they forged.
So you would send someone to prison for 80 years for not being a good bookkeeper?
Signatures
send the governor. $6 billion has been found missing from taxpayers in Michigan.
Falsely claiming another person.
And this, I know, right?
My office and prosecutors all across the state routinely charge these types of cases with far less fanfare and condemnation than this case received.
I know. Then why are you putting so much fanfare on it?
Today, as it was on December 4th of 2020, that for many, when it is this president and this president's followers, then there is no criminal activity, no action nefarious enough to warrant consequences of any kind, especially when it comes to rigging the system in Trump's favor. We saw it when he pardoned the January 6ers, where 5 people died, mainly police officers, more than $2.9 million worth of damage inflicted upon.
I keep hearing this 5 people thing. I got to look it up, and I keep forgetting. I got to write it down. Maybe you can help me in the chat. 5 people. I thought it was one dumb bitch that got shot in the face by a cop that has been known to negligently leave his firearm in public restrooms. The place is fucked up. Mass up every year. Blah, blah, blah. Flower seed, yeah, exactly. Home Depot, all that crap. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks to was it flatten the curve?
Upon the U.S. Capitol, many carried firearms, knives, pepper spray, baseball bats, or flags, which they festooned into weapons. In all, 1,575 people were charged, 418 for assaultive or violent actions, and yet each and every one of them was pardoned. Even the ones who pled guilty in their cases, the ones who caused massive destruction of property, even the ones who were sentenced to
I almost
prison time
fought
for
a
attacking
security
police
guard at a
officers
Menards
using
over
improvised
masks.
weapons like flagpoles or fencing. We saw it when the highest court of the land, the United States Supreme Court, granted Donald Trump immunity for any and all actions as president of the United States, despite being indicted for inciting that very insurrection, as well as a multitude of other crimes. And we see it in this term of office as well, when the president defunds the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency in charge of keeping foreign interference out of our elections. We see it when he places the head of that agency under investigation for what? For simply stating the factually accurate conclusion that the 2020 election was not stolen. We see it in his flagrantly illegal executive order from March of this year, when Donald Trump attempted to illegally usurp states' rights to run their own elections and impose federal standards, or when he takes steps to
I did, but I had to do have
despite being a routine absentee voter himself. It's present in the White House when he shows off his Trump 2028 merchandise to world leaders as though the 22nd Amendment is a mere suggestion. And we see it in the courts in real time today as judges in Michigan and across the nation hem and haw over these election-related cases. And it's getting harder and harder to even get an election case across the finish line, let alone to get them in a timely decision where perhaps it would have made a difference in people's actions later had there been more responsibility provided at an earlier time. And
I'm done listening to this. She's there's no convincing these people. And I mean, I like to try to be the outsider. I'm not an outsider anymore. I know a lot of the inside stuff. But from day one, this seemed like a crock of shit. I mean, yeah, right. I still have the my excuse me, permission slip. That's the word I was looking for my job I had during the lockdowns, because I was a essential worker, so I could drive on the highway. If I got pulled over, I was told to give that to them. It's crazy. It was a weird time. I braced myself, and the lady was like, "Yeah, I tried. I really tried." And of course, that was Dana Nessel. Miss Benson also spoke up, but it was just an article. It is saying the same crap. But I did find this. CNN. Oh, CNN. They're the kings, right? They're the kings of clickbait. This is from CNN. It says here, fake elector admit to working with Trump. What did I read that was better? Yeah. So basically, this is Marshawn Maddox admitting it. I bet you that this is taken out of context. At least the headline was. Shut up. I'm not ready for you yet. Boopity boop. You got to ask though, was it a plot, kind of like the plot to kidnap the governor that was cooked up by the governor? Oh, sorry, I didn't send that over. There you go. Okay, so she admitted to working with Trump attorneys. Yeah, I'm sure that Trump lended some of his attorneys to these because they were being railroaded. It's all bullshit. I'm glad it got thrown out. I'm sure there'll be appeal. It's just, and that's just more taxpayer money. Because Dana Nessel is out to get him. She gonna get him. Anyways, guys, we gotta start wrapping it up. The show is designed for an hour and a half. It never goes an hour and a half. John knows that. Everyone that watches knows that. But since Pops ain't here, I'm gonna try to stick as close as I can to it. Let me check something real fast. Boop, boop, beep, beep, boop. I'm a robot. I'm not a robot, guys. I promise. I might be a robot. I can't say I'm not. I don't want Dana Nessel to show up and send me to prison for saying I'm not a robot and I might actually be a robot. Can you send robots to prison? Is that allowed? I was just trying to see if we had a live read worth it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. We don't do live reads here very often. Let's make a little bit of money. And when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. If you haven't already, make sure you download the Rumble app. It's free, simple to use, and the best way to stay connected to the content you want. Once you've got it, search for Stick to the Plan podcast and hit follow. That way you'll get a notification every time we go live. No missed shows, no extra steps. You can grab it right now using the link in the description or the pinned live chat. Download it to your phone, and when you're ready to go, download to your phone, and then you're ready to go. There's no other steps, guys. And if you prefer watching on the big screen, Rumble is available on all major streaming devices and smart TVs. Just search for Rumble. Follow Stick to the Plan podcast and be part of the action. Boom. Nailed it. Okay, moving on. I forgot to ask Dad what things he would like me to talk about to end the show, as he likes to do it. But I'm just going to wing it. So here we go, guys. You can check out this show every Monday at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. It's usually me and Russ. Politics, great guests. Some of the, big political guests in the state. We had a gubernatorial candidate for Michigan last week. We've had 2 Republican attorney general candidates. We've had Jonathan Lindsay. We've had Ryan Kelly. We pulled some great guys. We pulled some pretty good guests around here. And that's not on me. That's 100% on Russ. He's the guy for that. So I hope he's having a good time up in Lansing. But although this podcast is no way directly connected to the JXN GOP, Russ is the chair of the JXN GOP, so he likes to make sure we get the announcements out that need to be out. So let's do that. Yep, here it is. Boop, boop. All right. We're just going to go down the website. That's what the website's for, guys. The website is jxngop.org. You can find all the information I'm about to talk about and more right on that website. So let's pull that up. Here we go, guys. jxngop.org. Remember, Jackson is the birthplace of the Republican Party. That's right. Wisconsin tries, but they're wrong, and they know it. All right. Let's see some of the events they got coming up. Freedom Festival and Steam Show. Get ready for a weekend of old-time excitement as history comes roaring to life at the Tompkins Historical Freedom Festival and Steam Show. Bring the whole family and experience the sights, sounds, and smells of the good old days. We'll be having the Jackson GOP will be having a booth at the event. Come out and say hi. If you'd like to volunteer, check out the website, click that button. It looks like it's September 19th, 20th, and 21st, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check it out, guys. And they have a full list of events you can check out at www.tompkinscenterhistorical.org. Go JXN GOP. You can find all that information. Lincoln Day dinner. Huge fundraiser, big fundraiser for the JXN GOP. I'm just going to read what Chris put in there. Join us for an unforgettable evening at our annual Lincoln Day dinner. The special event brings together community leaders, elected officials, and engaged citizens for an inspiring night of patriotism, fellowship, and purpose. Attendees will enjoy powerful speakers, a delicious dinner, and the opportunity to connect with others who share a commitment to the principles of freedom, opportunity, and responsible leadership. Whether you're a longtime supporter or a new face in the crowd, the Lincoln Day dinner is the perfect place to get involved, stay informed, and be part of shaping the future. Maybe you want a more relaxed party atmosphere. Join us at 9 p.m. right after the Lincoln Day dinner for the Trump After Party. Lincoln Day tickets include the Trump After Party. Get your tickets now. The candidates for governor that have been confirmed will be at the event. As of now, are follows: Eric Nesbitt, Tom Leonard, Carla Wagner, and Anthony Hudson. We had Anthony Hudson on last week. So go to jxngop.org, get your tickets, get them in advance. You don't want to miss that. I've never been to one, but I've heard it's a great time. So maybe I'll go this year. We'll see what happens. Looks like Pops was on WKHM to discuss the Under the Oaks PAC. Guys, if you're from the Jackson area, or I guess I don't know how far it reaches, and you've received anything from the Under the Oaks PAC, it is Democrats pretending to be Republicans, trying to trick you. In the recent interview, Russ Jennings called the Under the Oaks PAC deceitful and explains why the PAC is not affiliated with the Jackson GOP. Yeah, Under the Oaks has always kind of been the Republican thing because that's birthplace of the Republican Party, Under the Oaks. It says so in the intro to this show. Urgent, help flip Michigan's 14th Senate District red. Time is of the essence to reclaim Michigan's 14th State Senate District. We need your support right now to win the last Democratic holdout in Jackson County. This district, a competitive battleground spanning Jackson and northern Washtenaw counties, including parts of Ann Arbor, is winnable in 2020. I think that's a typo. Democrat Sue Shink took this. Oh, okay, never mind. In 2022, Democrat Sue Shink took the seat with just a 11.8% margin. That margin, while notable, is not secure. With the right push, we can bring it back to the red column. With your why your donation matters immediately. Make an immediate difference. Your contribution funds vital work, organizing local volunteers, targeted voter outreach, placing yard signs, and digital ads. It's a swing district. The voters are open to change, and your support will amplify that. Momentum is key. Guys, just go to JXN GOP. You can check all this out. Proof of Citizen Ballot Initiative. We are here to community. Join the movement. There's a thing down here where you can donate. You can learn more about the AFP phone bank to extend tax cuts, donate, sponsorships, and pay your dues. There's also, they got some sweet merch, guys. Actually, I like their hats a lot. I'm probably going to buy one. But anyways. Oh, and they have a calendar. I didn't know that. I never make it that far. I'm not going to lie to you. Guys, now back to the part that I know about. The podcasting part. You can, we do the show every Monday at 2 p.m. This week, just me. Next week, Russ will be back. I don't know what else. We'll probably have a guest. Who knows? But 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can always check us out. We're pretty reliable. I've gotten pretty big on making sure that we're here every week. Even if we don't feel like it, we try to be here every week. Make sure you like this stream. Follow this channel. And also, go and follow the Facebook. Go and follow the X. Go and follow... I think that's all of them. We always go live. Oh, YouTube. Yeah, duh, Kevin. And, of course, Rumble. We're live on Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook today. We had a great chat today, and I appreciate that. It helped me out a ton. Filled some time. We're a little over, but it's not too bad. So I'm okay. I'm okay with it, I guess. Where did my thing go? There it is. All right. Yeah, so do all that. If you want to gift subs, that's awesome. If you're watching on Rumble, at least, we're not monetized on YouTube because of YouTube's insane, absolutely insane barriers of entry to do so. So you can donate those subs right here on Rumble. And what happens is, if you are a sub to this channel, you can watch all of our premium streams. This show doesn't do premium streams yet, but you also get your name highlighted red in the chat. You get access to some exclusive emoticons. Trying to think of other benefits. It helps us out a ton. That's the big thing, and helps us keep doing the show. So absolutely do that. If you want to just buy a subscription for yourself, there's a button right under. I believe it's right under the chat, right under this video. I always forget. That says join, I believe, or subscribe. I think it says join. It's $5 a month. And you support the greatest political podcast in Michigan, Michigan's elite free speech podcast. Greatest. We have the greatest guests. We have the greatest hosts. We have the greatest chat. We have the greatest fans. Yeah, we thank you for that. Also, if you want to donate monetarily, you can do so right on Rumble. There's a little dollar bill sign on the chat. You can click on that and do it that way, or you can go to Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/STTP-pod. It's right above my head. It's been there the whole show. So, guys, that's about it. I'm going to check the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything, because I didn't have it open again. I should run for peripheral independent candidate. Oh, Lincoln Log Republicans. I like Lincoln Logs. Thanks, Roy Rat, for hanging out. Thank you, Darth, John. There was somebody else in the chat earlier, and I can't remember who it is. It doesn't matter. Whoever you are, thank you. We love you all, or at least I do. I personally will be back with the Grandma's Boy podcast tonight at 7 p.m. I do that show twice a day now, Monday through Friday. 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. Eastern Standard. Saturday and Sunday, 7 p.m. Sundays are the premium exclusive show. It's way different than this show. It's a good time, though. And the His Home Jackson show with John Wilson. I think we have that one planned for next Thursday. We do it every other Thursday. So I think that covers all the bases. Hope you had a great time. I know I had fun. I mean, I've never done the show solo, so I'm happy with it. So, guys, stay away from Dana Nessel. No. If you have any questions, you can always come to the JXN GOP headquarters in the Commonwealth Center in downtown Jackson, Suite 320 on the 3rd floor. They will be more than happy to help you out. Or give Russ a call directly. His number's all over the website, so it's pretty easy to find. I'm wasting time while I find this stupid outro. All right, guys, this has been the Stick to the Plan podcast, Michigan's elite free speech podcast. Thank you for watching. And with that, I'm out of here. I'm going to grab some food. You should do the same. Peace out.
You've been listening to a Grandma's Boy Media production.
the Plan podcast. Michigan's elite political podcast is about to begin, live from the birthplace of the Republican Party. Let's gather under the oaks like our forefathers did. Now more than ever, it's time to stick to the
plan. Sorry, guys, I never do this. We definitely never do this on this show. But we're going to switch it up. I'm going to drop in the chat a raid to my good buddy Goofy Boots. Go over and give him a like, give him a follow. I'm out of here, though, guys. Have a good night. Where's my chat? There it is. Never mind. It's not rating. But have a good one, guys. We'll see you next week. Go check out Goofy. Anyway, he's cool.